Hey guys, this video is from our latest Rick and Johnny podcast. Make sure to check out the full podcast on blogtalkradio.com/Rick and Johnny. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know Johnny and I had fun recording it. And Johnny, we are going to end the podcast with a little bit of Spider-Man, talking about SpiderMan Homecoming. And I'm going to set this one up. Usually I come in, I got a question for you, but this topic, I kind of had the Peter Parker's redemption story. Mm-hmm. Will we see that? Because this is what I'm thinking. Obviously, with the last trailer, the second trailer, we now get a clear image of, before it was like, oh, he has his own suit, but wait, Tony gave him a suit. Why would he have to make it? Oh, and you know what? We're going to get flashbacks. That's it. We're getting flashbacks to life before the suit. But then we see Tony Stark take the suit away from him, because in the trailer he says, I'm nothing without this suit. Whereas Iron Man goes, nuh-uh, I'm taking the suit because you need to learn to be Spider-Man without the suit.
Exactly.
The suit's becoming a crutch.
If you can't, Spider-Man, as he says, if you can't be it without the suit, you don't deserve the suit.
Yeah. And basically that's an homage to Iron Man himself.
Yeah.
Because he had to go through the
Iron
same
Man
thing.
3, he had to learn that he's not his suit. Yeah. He's more than that.
Yeah, he's Tony Stark.
Exactly.
And that's what he had to do.
The mechanic.
And the reason why I think this is, I want to say Peter Parker's redemption story, because we get that, so we get the suit being taken away from him. Also, what I think could happen is a character and an actor, I am already calling it for our review. I am going to say that when we do our review, I'm going to say the words, Vulture stole the show. That's going to come out of my mouth. I have that feeling.
Okay.
And what I think is going to happen is, since they're playing up Vulture hates Tony Stark, only cares about his family, Peter Parker obviously has a connection to Tony Stark, cares about his family, obviously.
Yeah.
We're going to get kind of, I think, a little bit of, A, don't stand in my way because I'll kill your family and everyone you love, but also a kind of the Vulture trying to be like, you know what, he's nothing. Like, you don't know the real man that's Tony Stark, and trying to maybe get Spider-Man to flip on Tony and the Avengers a little bit, even though he's not an Avenger.
Yeah.
I don't know why he can't just be his, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But that's why I wanted to say, are we going to get that? Do you think we'll get that redemption story where loses the suit, earns the suit back in the end, but more so that Vulture part where it's kind of a little snip in there of, he took your suit, he doesn't care about you, you don't know the real Tony Stark, to try to get under Spider-Man's skin.
No, I'm going to say to that, I'm going to say yes, it's a form of redemption story. It's almost very vaguely like the Iron Man 3 redemption story. You don't need the soup to be the suit, not the soup. You need the soup.
No soup for you.
1 year. You don't need the suit to be the hero.
You are the hero.
Tony found out he doesn't need it. He has his genius. Yeah. Peter Parker, I think, is going to learn he doesn't need this suit to be the hero. Yeah, it's got all the cool gadgets and all this stuff. You built web slingers on your own. You have these powers without the suit. It's about learning to use them then without the suit. And that's what's going to happen. And I actually agree with you. With Vulture and his phrase of I'm protecting my family. A lot of this stuff and everything that happens now and everything that's getting blamed on people being scared of stuff, a lot of it's from the incident in New York, as it's called, when the Chitauri attack, which is cool because you and I both found out.
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, yes.
You had to throw that in your face again.
Yeah.
He's on my side, not your side.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nah, boo-boo, stick your head in doo-doo, Johnny.
Thank you. But anyways, back to the adult conversation.
Go ahead.
What's going to happen, it's kind of cool that you and I found out that Vulture's suit is...
It's Chitauri.
Chitauri pieces.
He even
scrapped.
has the Chitauri weapon on the boat.
Well,
the
you can see like...
the purple.
Yeah, the purple blaster. But like all the wings are constructed from like 4... turbines from their gliders, which is awesome. So he made wings out of them. I'm way interested to see more of the suit. But back to what I was going to say is when you were talking about how he's going to say Tony Stark doesn't care about you. He took your suit away. He's acting like this towards you. He's probably gonna throw it. He's not letting you be in his group. You're like, I don't see you ever with his group of superheroes. He doesn't care about you. So maybe this will like kind of play along with that Civil War storyline that we didn't completely get, like a comic book version of it. We just got a generic Civil War.
Yeah.
Is gonna maybe push him towards Cap's side, just like,
and that could. Oh, I didn't even think.
You're welcome.
John, I didn't even fucking think about that.
Every episode I can break him, I think we need to figure out something cool to do.
Well, it's one of those things I'm thinking in the comic book, Spider-Man was on Cap's side.
Yeah, exactly. Afterwards, he was on Tony's side first. Something happened, and he gets pushed over to Cap's side.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That is genius.
You're welcome.
That is absolutely genius. Holy, like... Because this whole time I'm thinking, oh, we're getting ready for Infinity Wars. And obviously the team is going to come back. Are they going to come back together?
Eventually. We all know they're going to have to come back together.
They're going to have to, but it's one of those things like, oh, man. I didn't even think about that. Because they haven't really played with anything of the two sides.
No, they didn't. They just had Peter on his side. They had Peter actually go up against Cap and say, yeah, Tony said you'd be dangerous. Tony said you'd say that. Tony said you'd say that. I don't believe you at all, Cap. And now Tony takes away the suit. He's got to learn on his own. And we have Vulture that he has confrontations with.
Who already hates Tony Stark.
Exactly. He's going to put...
Tony Snark.
But basically the reason... Tony Stank.
Yeah, Tony Stank. The reason why he hates him is because I guess they're going to go off of at like the World Expo that we saw from Iron Man 2 or something.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He stole a contract away from the Vulture.
Oh.
Because the Vulture is in the same kind. He's an engineer. I think it's Tumor is going to be the Vulture. I'm glad they're going with the original Vulture from the comics. Like the guy who was, I think his last name was Tumor from the comics where he's the Vulture. Kind of an engineer like Tony Stark comes in, steals a contract from him, like kind of just backhand comes in, undercuts him. Stark Enterprises or Stark Industries takes the contract, and he hates Tony Stark for it.
Yeah, and you know what?
And that's where the animosity is.
And you know what would be great? What's great with that though, then, is he has so much animosity for Tony Stark. He's gonna do whatever he can to get back at Tony, whether it's this young kid you keep talking to, because what it seems like is
and now
he knows who Peter Parker is.
And who knows who Iron Man is.
Exactly.
Everybody knows that Iron Man is Tony Stark.
But the thing...
Wasn't it Iron Man 3 when he came out and he's like, I am Iron... Or no, that was...
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1. I'm Iron Man.
I am Iron Man. They gave him a whole story to say. He's like... He's looking at it as like, I am Iron Man. And
so everyone knows he's Iron Man.
Yeah, and Peter's trying to keep his thing quiet under wraps like he always did. Well, guess what? Apparently, what it seems like, Vulture knows who he is.
You think so?
Well, he said, I'm going to hurt everyone you love. And it sounds
True.
like he's looking in the back of a car. So it's like he has Peter back there or something.
I'm going to ask you this. What do you think gets to that point? How do you think Vulture, do you think it's just like a kind of like surveillance type thing? He just keeps tab on Peter Parker?
I think he finds a way to find out who he is, possibly even after one of the fights, because it looks like he overpowers them at least one good time, if not two.
Because he has the foot on him in the beach.
Yeah, exactly. At some point he finds out who he is, and that's what, at least this is what I'm speculating.
Okay,
he's gonna find out who Peter Parker is. He's gonna threaten him, because then all of a sudden they show Mary Jane. Is it Mary Jane or is it Gwen Stacy we're getting?
I think it's Mary Jane.
Okay, we're gonna get Mary Jane. We show a flash of Aunt May, and it's like, I'm gonna hurt
young Aunt May, Marissa Tomei Aunt May,
Benjamin buttoning us.
Yes,
throughout the Aunt Mays. But
Tony Stark, obviously, because he does care for Tony.
Exactly. He's like, I'm gonna hurt or kill everyone you love, and they show these three people. It's like, well, how are you gonna know who this is unless you know Peter Parker is Spider-Man?
True. That's a great point. Like, he has to know then.
Exactly. And then what are you gonna do with Peter? Well, let's turn him. What's worse? You hurt Peter and his family, or you turn your young ward. I'm gonna call him that, even though he's not technically that. You turn your protege. That's what I'm thinking of. You turn your protege against you. What's worse?
So you think he's going to turn Spider-Man against Iron Man, and that's why he's going to join Cap's team.
Yeah, and not technically against him, but he's like, you know what? I don't want to be part of you and what you talk about anymore.
Yeah.
I realize from what this guy says, you're not all what you say you are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could kind of see it. And actually looking at because you were asking Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, I'm looking it up. Someone probably already commented and corrected us. We're getting neither. We're getting Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy. We're getting Betty Brant. Who is Betty Brant from the Wikipedia I'm looking at. Betty Brant takes over her mother's former position as Daily Bugle secretary after she died. So that's where she was in the comics. So we're getting like the main characters, female characters, is Betty Brant, Michelle, and then I'm seeing Liz Allen are the characters. Those are the main ones. And actually, it wasn't Toomer, it was Toombs is the Vulture. Adrian Toombs is the main guy. He's in the comics, who was the first Vulture. Yeah. I'm glad that Michael Keaton is Adrian Toombs in that part.
Looks like he's going to be good.
Oh, I think he's going to be amazing.
Yeah, as you said, you think he's going to steal the show.
I love from all the trailers, I absolutely love Michael Keaton as the Vulture already. And I think it's going to be something like when I think it was it Beauty and the Beast, where we saw those trailers where like LeFou's going to steal the show.
Yeah,
you already know it. Like it's something like that. I feel like it's going to be boom. That person is stealing the show.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Power Rangers where we're like, holy shit, Billy stole the show.
Yeah, no, we were kind of blindsided by that in a sense because you didn't.
Blinded by the light.
No, we're blinded by Billy.
Yeah, by the blue light.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Touche.
Spectrums of light.
Yeah, that's true. Touche.
Light has all the colors.
I think blue's the visible light range we can't see though.
Is it?
I don't remember.
I have no idea, but yeah,
I don't have the chart in front of me.
That's what I'm saying. I think that he's going to be the one where it's like, boom, stole the show. But we also have, and I'm looking at the IMDb page.
Yeah,
Shocker's in it.
I'm excited about that in some senses.
And the thing that it looks like is when he pulls out his weapon, it looks like the battering ram that Crossbones had in Civil War. Yeah. Except it's just got a little shock thing on the end.
It's got electricity to it now.
Which is a different kind of
shocker
that because, correct me if I'm wrong, the Shocker, Jamie Foxx was the Shocker. No, he was Electro. That's what it was, not the Shocker. Electro.
Yeah, we didn't get a Shocker
from the
yet.
Amazing Spider-Man. But we also have Donald Glover, who's still on IMDb, doesn't have a character.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
He's in there. Doesn't have a character. We don't know who he's going to be.
Well, that'd be interesting then.
So that's another one that is thrown in there for us to kind of still speculate on. But I think that this is the redemption story in the sense of the suit gets taken away. How do I earn that suit back? And here's the one wrench I want to throw into your little thing.
Okay.
If he turns on Tony Stark and joins Cap's side, does he keep the crappy suit? Because he's not going to get the suit back.
Who knows what's going to happen with that? Maybe Tony comes to this well, I understand. You're right. I'm not who I am. Take this suit anyways.
I don't think. No, that doesn't.
You don't
sound
think
like,
so?
That doesn't sound like Tony
Stark.
Kind of does.
To me. Kind of doesn't.
No, Tony Stark's kind of a dick. No, you ain't going to be on my side. You don't get my tech.
Maybe, maybe not.
You think
maybe he will stick with the crappy suit?
Wait, you're gonna join Camp? You're gonna join Cap? Fuck you, man. That's what I think we see. I think we see.
That's true. It could be.
If you're either on my side and with my suit, or not on my side without my suit.
Or maybe he just starts building towards his own suit.
I guess
because you see him in one scene where he's working on something very intricate in the lab with his new friend.
So maybe it's one of those things where he doesn't get the suit because Tony's like, no, you're not with me. You don't have it. So he makes his own suit.
Yeah, maybe.
And the last thing I kind of want to bring up is this thought that I heard kind of made me angry. That I guess there's people out there saying that, oh, well, this suit that Tony gave him this is the Iron Spider suit. This is what the MCU's version of the Iron Spider suit. Don't call it that.
It's not.
Just don't. Unless it... Now, I'm not saying it has to look exactly like the Iron Spider suit, but unless it's got the capabilities like the extra legs coming out of the back of it and is actually made of iron, don't call it the Iron Man suit or the Iron Spider suit, because it's not the Iron Spider suit. It's just a Stark Tech Spider suit. That's all it is, Johnny.
Exactly.
That's all it is. I just had to get that off my chest.
No, I agree with you.
I heard that and I was like, guys,
it's a special.
Really?
The one he has looks like it's just made of a special fabric.
Yeah.
Not something that's.
But people are saying like it's the MCU's version of the Iron Spider.
I really hope not.
You're saying that like we get the Iron Spider suit is what you're hoping for.
No, I'm just hoping they don't consider
They
that.
just don't do the Iron Spider suit.
If you're not going to do it semi-right, don't do it.
Just don't do the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hearing from you.
If we're not getting it semi-correct, or if we're not getting it even semi-right, where it's made of iron, it's got the 3 legs, extra legs, don't do it. Just, this is, like you said, Stark Industries spider suit.
And the last thing, before I kick it off to your final thoughts, is we're also going to get a new Iron Man suit, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He's got a new Iron Man suit, new coloration, new Mach, whatever we're on.
Probably
right
Mark
now.
50.
We've got a ton of them.
76.
We've got a ton, 152.
100,
I mean,
I was going to say 842.
It's one of those things where we're going to get another new Iron Man suit because that's what happens. It's kind of like a car.
Yeah.
Tony Stark's got to unveil the
He's got the money.
Model.
He can do it.
But really quickly, before we wrap everything up today, what are your final thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming as a whole?
I'm excited to see what you and I are calling a redemption story. I'm really excited to see Vulture's suit. I want to see it in the light because it's made of Chitauri things.
The Chitauri, just the glider is like, and then he comes down that silo, and it's like kind of like a big fucking vulture.
Yeah. I'm excited Shocker's in it. I'm excited the way they're going about it because I do like the changes they make to make it a bit more realistic.
You don't want them to have the yellow suit?
I would like an homage to it. I would like an homage to something because what the yellow suit was it was quilted in a sense so that he doesn't get hurt by his own shocks. So I'm hoping we get like an homage to something like that. It doesn't have to be the awkwardly red and yellow blanket suit.
Even if it's something like, because it looks like Iron Man fights him in his maid suit, even if it's something like, oh, that's cute. I dabbled in that once.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that homage to, he tried making the suit but decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying something like that, just kind of homage to it.
Even like something that kind of like resembles his old suit. So like, hey, he's got it on so he doesn't hurt himself. It doesn't have to be the, like I said, awkward blanket quilt red and yellow suit that he has. But besides that, I'm excited for all of it, and I want to know what's going to happen. Is Spidey going to change size or not?
Well, and we'll have to wait and see. I cannot wait. July 7th. Actually, my sister's birthday it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
July 7th, my sister's birthday, should we get a new Spider-Man? So it's going to be great. I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for Spider-Man. Of course, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy is the next Marvel movie that we have on the docket. But this is where I turn it on to you guys. Let us know down below, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Spider-Man Homecoming? What do you think about our this is a mini theory, like the whole redemption story.
What is the storyline going to be?
What are you going to think? What are you thinking about Spider-Man Homecoming? Also, I want to throw it out there. I haven't read anything on it. Maybe someone else has. Donald Glover, who do you think he's going to play? I have not heard
almost forgot you mentioned him.
Have not heard anything about who he is going to play. So if you either know or have a guess, let us know down in the description. Well, thank you guys for either watching or listening to the Rick and Johnny podcast this week. We will be back again next week for another jam-packed show. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Ricky Widmer. Johnny is at
War Machine 9085.
And Most Valuable Podcast is at Most Valuable Pod. I want to thank you guys one more time for listening and watching. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for watching the Rick and Johnny podcast. Click right here to watch another squanchy video, and let's get rickety wrecked!